What's going on, everybody? You're listening to episode 7 of the Trash D Radio. I'm your host, Tyler, joined today by the Toronto Maple Leafs starting point guard, Lucas, and his agent, Chance.
Point guard. Nice.
Yeah, see how I did that? I mixed two sports together there.
So I'm the agent?
Yeah, you can be the agent.
Show me the money.
Got to give him them big bills. But he wants it all guaranteed, and he never wants to touch the ice.
Well, of course it's going to be all guaranteed.
Yeah, what do you think we are, fucking amateurs?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. Is that how hockey contracts are? Jeez, I can't talk today.
I don't know.
Well, either way.
Think.
We'll talk more about it later. But for right now, let's get into some NFL football from week 4.
What a week.
What a week it is. Just football never amazes, you know? But we'll start with Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Chance, you're just shaking your head over there. What's the reaction?
It was a bad game. Steelers defense looked like a pee-wee football team. They made Joe Flacco look like Joe Montana. And right now the Steelers are in last place behind the Cleveland Browns in the AFC North.
I thought they were tied for last place.
No, they're behind the Browns.
Why?
Because the Steelers lost to more AFC teams than the Browns.
I also think we can't be underestimating the Ravens. I think they look really good this year.
I mean, they do have the number one defense in football right now.
The Steelers were bad, but the Ravens are good.
The Ravens have a good defense. That's still it. I'm not sold on their offense. The Steelers' offense could make certain former high school quarterbacks look like Peyton Manning right now. I'm not going to name anybody, but most of you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Lev Bell said he's coming back after week 7, Steelers bye week, so
I can't wait. Not even just to watch, not to watch Bell play, just to see the reaction. Like how are the players going to
Here's the hot take for you. I think the Steelers actually need Le'Veon at this point.
No, they
do. They 110% need him at this point.
They need him, yeah.
Because you want to know why? Connor, he had that first good game. After that, I mean, it's not like they really run the ball a ton anymore. But at least running the ball keeps the defense off the field. So, in that sense, as long as we can get Le'Veon back.
He's definitely not a number 1 running back, but he's doing a lot better than I thought he was going to do. I think he has a good future. Not like with this team, but I think he's going to be a good player.
James Conner just doesn't scare NFL defenses like Le'Veon Bell. When Le'Veon Bell's on the field, the opposing defense stacks the box against him, so he can't run, which leaves Antonio Brown open more on passes.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm thinking at this point the Steelers kind of want him back because, no matter what people say, he was trying to get his money and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of a shitty situation.
Here's what is going to happen: the Steelers are going to go 500 from here on out till Bell gets back, and then they're going to go on a tear and win the division and make the playoffs. I'm calling it now.
No way.
And then are they giving Bell a contract afterwards?
Bell will re-sign with the Steelers after the season.
I actually think that's very likely.
I don't think the Steelers are going to offer him anything.
I guarantee you that if we keep struggling the way we are, and then Bell comes back and we do 10 times better, or not 10 times, but we do better. I feel like he will definitely.
Yeah, we can get another. If we have, don't make fucking reactions. All right,
I'm looking the other way.
If Le'Veon Bell's going to ask for a lot of money, it's going to put a huge hole where the team needs it most on defense. If we keep an average running back and get another average running back instead of having a phenomenal running back and an average running back, if we get 2 average running backs and do like a running back by committee thing, I think it could work, and we could save that money for a defense.
Lucas, why do you think the Steelers have not done this for the past 2 years? This is what everyone has been saying for the last 2 years. Let Lev Bell go and sign defensive players.
Exactly.
But the Steelers just don't do that. That's just not how they roll.
Lev Bell is still in.
Shazier is not there.
Yes, Shazier's not there
That
anymore.
is such a bullshit thing to say.
It's true.
No, it's bullshit.
Okay.
It's
not the only reason why they're doing that.
He is gone. It happened. He is not coming back to football.
And it obviously hurts
the team. That is such a shitty excuse of, we don't have Shazier. It's like you had a whole offseason to fill that hole.
Yes, I know that. What I'm saying, anyway, shut up.
Sorry, that's what they kept saying.
I forgot what I was going to say.
That's what they kept saying on Monday Night Football.
Sunday
night. They were just like, this
now.
defense is set for Shazier. It's like, he's not fucking there, so shut the fuck up about it.
Okay, anyway, besides that, past couple years, Lev Bell's been in his prime. He's on the decline right now. So that's why they're not going to keep franchise tagging him, because there's no point.
Look, all I'm saying is, I'm 100% with you, Lucas. I've been saying this for the last 2 years when they franchise tagged them. But that's just not how the Steelers roll. The Steelers don't go out in free agency and spend money on big-name players. It's just not how they do it. They draft and develop their talent from within and then pay their prime players from within and keep them in the franchise. That's how they've operated for the last however many years since Art Rooney Sr. was the owner. No, I'm all for it. I would like to let Lev Bell walk and rebuild the defense because I feel like that's what they have to do. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. I feel like Tomlin and Bell are too buddy-buddy, and when Bell comes back, he'll take all the heat off the team. I feel like they'll win games they're supposed to win. He'll put up stats. The fans will cheer for him again, you know. It's just going to be like he wasn't there, but he wasn't there and fucking screwed them over for the first quarter of the season. But it is what it is.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they sign him, great. I'd love to see him back, but if they don't, even better. And I don't think they're going to sign him. That's just my opinion. There's no way with all the drama he's been causing.
But I mean, like in this league, the Thursday night game of last week, the Rams and the Vikings. Those are two of the top defenses in the league, and neither one of them showed up. Like the Rams
Yeah.
prove that you can win if you can just put up 58 points.
And I'm also not disagreeing with you in the sense of if you don't sign Le'Veon, you're going to sign defensive players. But the defense has been a problem for the past 3 years now, and they have yet to do anything about it.
Yeah, 8 of the 11 players on defense are first and second round picks by the Steelers.
So I just don't expect them to just, okay, we're not going to sign Le'Veon, so we're going to put all this money into the defense. I just don't see them doing that. And I mean, if they could have traded Le'Veon for what the hell, Seahawks,
Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas, cool, totally about that deal, star for star, but you know he's he's decommissioned now, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things where the Steelers would trade away Le'Veon for a pick and then somewhat okay defensive player, or they wanted a good player, but no one's going to give that up. So I agree with you in the sense that yeah, if we can not sign Le'Veon and rebuild the defense, or at least put money into the defense, cool, but I just do not see them doing it.
Agreed.
Personally. So, but we can now talk about how Earl Thomas broke his leg, because
Oh, well.
that's why you hold out, boys.
It's
That's
the
why you
game.
hold out.
It's part of the game.
That's just wild. Like, what are the odds? Like, you know you're skipping practice, so that shit doesn't happen. You're only playing games, so you're putting yourself out there for 16 games, and week 4 you fucking shatter your leg.
Maybe it's because he wasn't practicing and he wasn't strong enough.
No,
No, apparently that leg he broke before, actually. Like, there's a metal
Yeah.
rod in that leg that he broke.
he shattered that a couple years ago.
It's awful. It's terrible, but it's just the way the game is. It's going to happen.
That's
you're
why
put yourself in
you
those
make
risks.
the big money.
Exactly.
All right, now bring up another thing. I just kind of thought of this off the top of my head. So I thought about this in the whole
Seahawks,
contract.
baby.
Yeah.
Seahawks.
Seahawks, NFL champions this year, calling it. No, so I thought about this and about how what the hell is Cam Chancellor? That's his name.
Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas. Where am I at right now, dude? Earl Thomas held out for his thing, but he came back. Le'Veon technically has a franchise tag on him, stayed out, and how everyone's comparing the two, I realized they were actually in completely different situations.
Yeah, Earl Thomas is actually under contract.
Earl Thomas signed that contract.
Yeah, he signed it 4 years ago, and this was the final year. He was strictly holding out because he wanted an extension, because he didn't want to hit free agency. He didn't want to risk injury and lose money this season if something would happen because of injury, and that's exactly what happened.
Kind of similar because now Earl Thomas has to go into free agency off of a busted leg, not sure that he's going to have a contract next year. And that's pretty much the same thing Lev Bell's doing. He didn't want to get hurt and then not have a contract next year.
Yeah, but
Earl Thomas signed that contract though.
Yeah,
He-
but
he
he's
signed-
playing for the future.
Yeah, but you still signed that contract. Like if I give you a job and I'm like, hey, I need you to do this for 4 years, and you say, yep, I'll sign that deal, and then at the beginning of the 4th year, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna need some more money, and I'm like, no, because you signed this contract.
Yes, that's how it works. But I'm telling you, that's what he's doing.
Well, you know, I get what he's doing. I'm just saying, I realize this, how everyone was comparing him about how, that's
Yeah,
like,
it's
Le'Veon
not-
should have done
yeah,
that.
it's
It's like,
not
it's not the
similar,
same
but it's
situation.
kinda.
Now, do you think players are now going to start to hold out more because of the Earl Thomas situation? Because exactly what Le'Veon pretty much is saying why I'm holding
Only
out.
the assholeist of the assholes are going to do that because it's a terrible move, and most players know that. I don't think everyone's going to do it.
players have been holding out for the last couple of years. They realize that their CBA they agreed on sucks, and that's the player association's fault. Which is why there's probably going to be another NFL lockout in 2 years when the contract is up. They probably won't have football for a year while they discuss these things.
That'd be sick.
You think it's gonna be a whole year they're not gonna play?
Oh
It
yeah,
happens all the time.
they'll have to.
I'm serious.
Right now, the owners have so much control over like what happens. Like the franchise tag is actual BS. Like
Whenever they were doing the franchise, like how did they not realize, hey, this could really backfire on us?
because the owners promised the players more money.
Because you get a lot more money getting a franchise.
Yeah, if you're franchise tagged, you make like the top 5 players in your position group, you get like a percentage of their combined salary. Like that's
really?
how they determine your figure.
I didn't know that's how that worked. I thought it was just based off of like.
So like,
No.
for example, like Lev Bell wanted a contract of was like 11 or 12 million a year. His franchise tag would have been over 14 million for this year.
Mhm.
That's crazy, but there's no guarantees.
Well, the franchise tag is fully guaranteed money, though, right?
Yeah.
But
So
like
it's-
not for next year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get that.
For
Not
this
next
season,
year, yeah.
as long as he signed it and showed up. If he got hurt, he would still make every cent of it.
Well, maybe he needs to show up to start collecting that money. I also heard that there is a transition tag you can also put on players.
Yeah.
I think Adam Schefter was talking about it on ESPN, where it's like if the Steelers can put a transition tag on Le'Veon, and like they pay him.
He would make 110% of what he made this season. And seeing that he's already skipped 4 games, whatever they would pay him next year would be $11 million less than what they're paying him this year.
So if they wanted to, they could essentially kind of half franchise tag him again next year, but it's just under a different tag.
Yeah, they could screw him over like that. The transition tag also allows other teams to like negotiate a deal with Le'Veon Bell, but if they want to sign him, they have to give up a pick.
To the Steelers.
So like the Steelers could put like a second round transition tag on Le'Veon Bell. So if, say like the Patriots wanted to sign him, they'd have to give the Steelers a second round pick to sign him from the Steelers.
Now, do the Steelers have a chance to match that?
They could match it.
And then it's up to Le'Veon
And
to
then
decide.
no, if the Steelers matched it, then they would keep Lev Bell. He'd get no choice.
I never knew that was a thing. I never knew that
Yeah.
until I saw that on an ESPN
Yeah,
video.
that's a thing. It's not used too much. The Patriots use it every now and then on some of their players, but
Do you think that's why Le'Veon decided that all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to come back and start playing nice?
well, I mean, this wasn't really talked about until last week, and then as soon as that happened, this week he came out and said he was showing up because his agent probably didn't know about that either.
All right. Well, so since we're a quarter of the way through the league or through the year this year, why don't we give out just some quarter of the way through awards per se? If you guys had to pick an MVP right now, who would it be?
The obvious MVP is Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes.
He's leading the NFL in touchdowns. I think he has 13 or 14, no interceptions.
And he's only like right underneath Ben for yards, I think.
Oh yeah, I forgot Ben's leading the. Did you see his crazy left-handed pass?
Mahomes, yeah.
That was wild. I saw that and I'm like, that's nutty. I mean, it really was. It's not like it was like a deep bomb or anything, but it was still like just to have the
it was
game knowledge.
It was a 4th down play. He converted a 1st down. It was wild. Game on the line. He's a heck of a player. I hope he stays healthy. I'd like to see what he can do throughout his career.
Who would be the defensive player of the year right now?
Khalil Mack.
I think Khalil. Yeah, I
The
guess.
dude has a forced fumble in every game this year. Like that's unheard of.
Hey man, that boy's crazy. Well, what team would you say is the most impressive so far this year? If you guys had to pick a team,
Most impressive, I would say best team just the Rams.
Yeah,
Most
definitely.
impressive, I think.
I guess like the biggest
The
biggest surprise.
the
Yeah, we'll go with biggest surprise team.
Man, I was gonna say either Ravens or fucking Dolphins.
Nah, the Dolphins would have been mine, but they got their ass kicked by the Patriots last week, which was kind of expected. So they're like back down to earth, in my opinion. I would say Andy Dalton and the Bengals. They're kind of a surprise team under the radar this offseason. A lot of teams expected them to suck, be worse than the Browns. But they've kind of flew under the radar. They're in the lead for the AFC North. They just beat the Falcons in Atlanta on a last-second AJ Green touchdown. So I think they're the most surprising right now.
I think my most surprising would actually be the Bears, just because you go from. I mean, I would if you had told me that the Bears would have been leading that division, I would have thought that was a joke. But then you get Khalil Mack, and now all of a sudden your defense is just grade A. I mean, if you have a defense like that, it's not like you're offense needs to score a bunch, but I mean,
Trubisky's playing decent,
dude,
though.
he
Better than he
killed
should
it last week. Last week was just a bloodbath.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns in the first half is pretty wild. I definitely thought he was going to be a draft bust. You know, he had 1 year starting quarterback in college under his belt. I didn't think he was worth the number 2 overall pick, but their head coach is sort of making him look like the next Carson Wentz.
And I mean, they definitely ended Fitzmagic permanently. He's done. He's benched.
Yeah, Fitzmagic is dead. Never to be seen in Tampa again.
Where's he going next, Chance? Insider knowledge, where's he going next?
49ers.
I could see him going to, like, Denver, you know.
Ooh, yeah.
He could go to Denver and beat out Case
Or
Keenum for a
Arizona.
couple games. He can go to Arizona, yeah. You know, you can go to New York. Maybe the Giants
Ooh.
need him, you know.
Go back to the
Eli
Jets.
Manning retires after this season, you know, McCown.
Or they can just switch teams, and Eli Manning will do better than Fitzpatrick in Tampa.
Dude, fuck off. No, he won't.
Eli Manning's done.
Dude, Eli has just as many weapons as the Bucks do.
No.
No? What?
No.
Hello?
Tampa's better. The team's better. It's just what it is.
All right, Lucas is fucking high at this point, apparently. He hit that dab pen a little too hard this time.
Next topic.
All right, well, let's get into some Week 5 predictions. So game numero uno is the Colts at New England, boys. Who do we got?
New England.
Pats.
Yeah, I think the Pats definitely winning this one.
Yeah, I think they're actually back.
Yeah, you know, everyone kind of really freaked out at first. Like, oh man, maybe New England's finally done. But then you got to realize it's 2-2.
Yeah,
And
they're
then-
getting Julian Edelman back this week. They're starting to get healthy. They'll be around.
I was surprised actually in the last game with Josh Gordon. I figured he would actually have a pretty. I actually was expecting him to have a half monstrous game, but I think they had like 2 catches for like 36 yards or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to take him some time to get used to New England and the offense and everything.
Yeah.
By the playoffs, he should be kicking in full form. Don't worry.
All right, game number 2 is Tennessee at Buffalo.
Christ.
Buffalo's awful, and Tennessee's been a surprise
Yeah.
pick. But I'm going to have to go with Tennessee this one on for sure.
Same.
Hey Lucas, are you from Tennessee?
No.
Because you're the only 10 I see. Bada boom. Get it?
It's a zinger.
Next game.
Atlanta at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this is gonna be a high scoring game. The league's number 1 and number 2 wide receivers going up against each other. No, I think I've been picking
It's like, who do you pick?
I pick the Steelers every week, and they've let me down 3 out
You
of
just can't
4.
not pick them, though.
Yeah,
'cause
but
the
I-
week that you don't pick them, they're going to fucking lose.
Oh, I know. I feel like they're gonna outscore Atlanta. It's in Heinz Field, or it's at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, so I'm gonna give it to the home team. I think the Steelers are gonna win.
Oh,
Lucas?
man, like, same thing with you. Like, I want to pick Steelers so mad. Like, I know they can do so well. But they've been so disappointing. Last game was so disappointing. They just didn't even show up as a team. But the Falcons keep losing, so I'm picking Steelers.
Jesus Christ, you just really built that up. You know that meme of Spider-Man, like it's him pointing to himself?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like this game is. Like both of them just have extremely high-powered offenses and just
Terrible
defenses
defense.
that is just terrible.
Well, Atlanta's defense is so banged up. Like they could be a top unit. They're so hurt.
Well, okay, yeah. So
The Steelers don't even have an excuse. They're just bad.
they're just bad.
They're just bad.
But
There
I'm
you
still
go.
gonna write out the home team of Pittsburgh. So we'll take that and stride. And you know, I thought about this as well. If you think about it, if Boswell kicks that field goal, they're 2-2. So remember that. They're not, 1-2-1. They're 2-2. Not as bad. A little positive spin on it.
There's so many plays you can point to. But, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but
So, well, at the same time, you could probably also say that the Browns would have beat the Saints as well that one week if their kicker would have made it. All right, so Broncos at Jets.
I'm going with the Broncos. The Jets, they stink.
the Jets have zero promise. So, yeah, Broncos.
Yeah, after that hot start, the Jets kind of seemed to go back to the norm as opposed to being some crazy team. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Denver as well. Here's actually a very good game. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh. Is this time for Mahomes to come down?
Or is it time for Mahomes to join the elite of the elite?
This
See,
could be a defining game for that.
I think this will be the defining game for Pat Mahomes. I think if he shreds Jacksonville's defense, there's no question that he is legit. He is the real deal. What we see is what we see. You know, he's not like smoke and mirrors, like scheme heavy good. You know, like his players around him aren't making him good. He's just that good. I don't know. The Chiefs' defense sucks, so I think that Jaguars are going to upset the Chiefs in this game.
You going Jacksonville?
I'm going Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
There are currently 2 undefeated teams, the Rams and the Chiefs. I think that is going to stay the same because the Chiefs are going to win again.
I'm going to ride the hot hand in the Chiefs as well. I feel like, yeah, the Jacksonville defense is just so good, but I still feel like with Pat Mahomes, how hot he's been and just the weapons they have, they're going to put, they're not going to put up as many points as they have in the past games, but I still think they're going to put up 21 points, and then Jacksonville is only going to be able to score 9. Like that. I mean, have they gone past 10 in the past couple games? I feel like every time
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. Blake Bortles has actually been doing pretty well.
What was their score? I'm going to have to look
I think
back.
last game was like 9-6 though, or 2 games ago.
Oh, nope. Sorry. Well, they played the Giants. They put 31 on the Giants. So, or no, I'm sorry, not the Jets. So does that count?
No.
And then the game before that, it was, let's see, where are they at here? It was 9-6 against Tennessee. And the game before that, it was.
Who has the Chiefs been playing?
Oh, it was 20-31. Never mind.
Has
Okay, maybe
Mahomes
they
even
actually
faced
have.
a decent defense yet?
They
No.
played Denver. Denver's a decent defense.
I
They
mean,
played at
yeah.
Denver. They played at Denver.
Yeah, he had his worst game against Denver, and he still
he
threw
still
for
came
300
back.
yards and
Yeah, you're
2
right.
touchdowns.
I mean, and
It's
also
gonna be a good game.
it's a division game at Denver, so I give him credit. Like I don't think that was like a give me kind of game. You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a very telling game. Of now, you also got to remember this is the elite defense in the league right now.
Yeah, if any defense can stop Pat Mahomes, it's this defense.
So, okay, so Lucas, I'm sorry, you're going to Kansas City, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to go Green Bay at Detroit.
Detroit is looking pretty bad, just like the Jets and the Giants and the Steelers and a lot of other teams. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to eat some W's.
So you're going Green Bay,
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay.
Lucas?
Yeah.
You're going Green Bay? You're just feeling it?
Yeah.
You're not going to pick the upset?
Nah. No.
All right, Ravens at Browns.
Ooh, another good AFC game.
No, it's not. It's not a good AFC game. It's going to be the Ravens are going to win this one.
Dude, the fucking Browns
Bet.
are
Wait, is
so
it at
fun to
Browns?
It's at Cleveland.
Ah.
watch. Ooh.
I'm picking Baltimore.
The past couple years, the Browns and Ravens games have been extremely close. The Ravens always end up winning, but I don't know. There's something about Baker Mayfield. I think
put
he
up
can.
fucking 40-something points Sunday.
Yeah, but he beat the
He
Raiders.
still put up a lot.
The Raiders don't even have a pass rusher. They can't find.
Yeah, they
one.
can't find him, dude.
You're right.
You just draft
It's hard.
him. and
It's
trade
hard
him.
to find a
Baltimore's
Khalil Mack
defense
in the
is
NFL.
Solid too. Yeah. This is gonna be a close one, but it's gonna be like kind of like last game, like 30s to like high teens.
I think Joe Flacco's could have come back down to earth this
I don't
game.
think so.
I think the Browns are going to upset the Ravens. Baker Mayfield is going to get that huge second dub.
So you're going Baltimore, Lucas?
Yeah.
I think that offensive
I think
line.
Baltimore's
I think
legit.
Flacco's offensive line was just. I mean, it literally looked like you could not shoot through it. With
Well,
I mean,
we didn't even blitz them. That's why they look so good. But
I still just thought it looked. They just looked like a good team whenever we played them.
I think
Them and
they're
Cincinnati
legit.
looked really good last week. But I mean, I watched some of the Cleveland game and they looked good offensively. But once again, they were playing the Raiders. So I mean, but I guess you could say the same. Like the Ravens were playing the Steelers. So it's like.
sure.
But no, I'm gonna go with Baltimore. The New York Giants at the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, I think the Panthers defense is going to turn Eli Manning into a. I don't even want to say it.
Do you think he'll look more scared than what he did two games ago? What game? Who'd they play against? Whenever it looked
I
like
think
he
it was week 1.
That was, I think, week 1 too.
was it week 1?
Might have been. I don't remember.
Because wasn't that the game they played Dallas?
Yeah, that was the game they played Dallas. I think that was week 1. I think they'll make Eli look pretty. I mean, Eli makes himself look bad, so they just need to
Hey man, he's elite.
Give him a little motivation, and then he can look a little worse.
If you guys didn't know, I'm an Eli Manning fan. I don't know
Really?
if you guys know this at all.
Like,
But,
if you were starting a draft of quarterbacks, would you pick Eli Manning number 1 overall right now?
I'd pick him 1 through 5. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm a Eli fan, I'm a Giants fan, but the Giants have no promise. There's nothing there, so they're not gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win a game. Honestly, like they look so bad.
Haven't they won a game yet?
No.
I thought they at least won 1 game. Damn. All right, so yeah, we were all picking Carolina to win that one.
Carolina's solid so far.
Cam Newton's having a pretty good year this year too.
Odell Beckham doesn't even have a touchdown yet.
Neither does Julio Jones have one yet either.
No, he only had like 1 or 2 last year. I think no,
That is
3.
crazy to
He
me.
just
How
puts
do
up
they only?
yards.
How does he only have like a couple touchdowns? in a year?
He doesn't have like that breakaway speed to like score like 80-yard touchdowns. So he picks up like these huge gains and then gets tackled at like in the red zone, like the 10-yard
I
line.
feel like Matt Ryan can never throw like a jump ball.
And when they get in the red zone, like teams just double team him, and like you don't have that much space to throw it, so it's harder to throw him the ball because there's so many people around him in the end zone, so that he just doesn't score touchdowns. It's wild.
Every time I see that stat, I just think it's absolutely wild that he only had a couple touchdowns last year.
He's on pace to catch over like 200 balls for like 2,000 yards and no touchdowns this season right now. Like,
Dude, please, that should be his goal at that point. I don't want touchdowns. I just want the yards and the catches. All right, next game is the Miami Dolphins at the Cincinnati Bengals. The cooled down Miami Dolphins are now swinging it over to the red hot Bengals.
Still going to be a close game, but I'm going to give it to Cincy. I think they look real solid.
yeah, I think Cincy's gonna win too.
Yeah, I think they're probably one of the hottest teams right now, I'd say. Them, the Rams, probably Kansas City as well. We'll wait and see whenever the playoffs happen, but they're looking really good this year so far. Hopefully they come back down to earth, but I don't think it'll be this game. We got the Raiders at the LA Chargers. Are they LA now or are they still San Diego?
No, they're LA.
They moved? Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Fucking was that last year?
Yeah.
2 years ago?
I think it's,
Well, I just know like the Raiders were supposed to move and they haven't moved yet.
yeah, no, I think the Chargers moved last year.
Okay, so
Who is it? The Chargers and
Raiders at Chargers.
I think the Chargers gonna win.
You don't think the Chargers are
No,
going to
I
win?
think the Chargers gonna win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Raiders don't have a chance.
Yeah, Chargers they're 2-2. Phillip Rivers is still balling out. He had 250 yards, 3 touchdowns last week against a bad 49ers team, but yeah, I like the Chargers. I don't like Raiders.
You know what's really upsetting is this whole entire time I've put in sand for like San Diego for the Chargers, and I'm just not realizing that they're
Wow.
Los Angeles. So damn,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
that's the kind of host I am right now. All right, next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers. Cardinals aren't going to win a game.
Yeah, they're pretty bad this year.
Yeah, the 49ers look like they didn't miss a beat on offense without Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they can beat the Cardinals. Cardinals look pretty bad.
I think even the Steelers could beat the Cardinals at this
Whoa,
point.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't go crazy here.
We'll beat them, but we'll make their quarterbacks look like Hall of Fame.
All right, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Both 2 disappointing teams this year, I think.
Do you think the Eagles are disappointing?
I don't think they're doing as good as they should be.
I think they lost.
They lost
I think they're
last
2-2,
week,
aren't they?
but yeah, they're 2-2.
Yeah.
They lost some key players from their Super Bowl run. I think it's affecting them more so on the defensive side. But that's what you got to do when that's what happens when you win championships.
You
Like
lose players.
teams poach your players. I don't know. I think the Vikings are gonna have a big bounce back game. They just got lit up on defense by the Rams. I think the coach was pretty embarrassed by that, so I think that they're gonna come out swinging against the Eagles. I think the Vikings are gonna win.
I'm picking Eagles. Vikings, I trying to like the Vikings. I've been picking them a lot this year, but they're just not getting it done. I'm picking Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Vikings on this one. I think their defense, they have a good defense. I just don't know what's been going on with it. Like, it was so good last year. Now it's just like they can't stop anybody. But I do think that they can at least score points this year with a quarterback as opposed to last year where it seems like they couldn't do anything. So I'm going to go with Minnesota for this game.
Skull.
Hmm?
Skull.
Why are you saying school?
Skull.
the Vikings catchphrase. You know, like Vikings, like skull. You know,
That's their
like
chant.
Oh, I thought you were saying like skull, like as in like the dip. Like you want to put in like
It's spelled the same.
Lucas chews peach skull pouches.
Is that true?
No,
I think you're lying right now.
I've never chewed.
What are you taking out of your mouth right now, Lucas?
I see three in his bottom lip right now. He's got
Next game.
The Rams at the Seahawks.
Ooh.
I
Just
got
kidding, Rams.
I got the Rams.
Yeah, even though I'm the diehard Seahawks fan at this table.
Apparently.
Hey, if you're gonna ride with Eli Manning, I guess I'll ride with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm also gonna go
Fair
with the
enough.
Rams, best team in the league, and I'm sure they're gonna keep showing why.
They're just insane. I can't wait to see them in the playoffs.
The Seahawks, yeah, no, dude, they're gonna fucking shred. All right, the Dallas Cowboys at the Houston Texans.
Bad versus bad.
I don't know, Dallas had pretty good. Or
Zeke's looking good. He's leading the league in rushing. So I'm going to give it just to him, just to them on that.
He's leading the league in rushing because it's all Dallas fucking
Yes,
had.
fucking Houston's looks so bad. I'm picking Dallas.
I feel like
picked
this-
against Dallas all fucking year.
I feel like this is going to be a shootout, and I think I'd rather have Deshaun Watson on my side than good old Dak Prescott. So I think
Yeah,
I'm going
Dak
to take
sucks. You're right.
Houston in this one in a high-scoring game.
I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys because I think they're just gonna keep feeding Zeke.
I'm going to change mine to Texans.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is it because I picked Dallas?
No, I forgot they put up 37 points last week. And they're running off of an overtime win, so they're going to ride that into the next game.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson's starting to look like Deshaun Watson of last year.
Listen, man, I'll go with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are a 500 team. And it's just one of those things where it's every game, it's going to be a coin flip, and this is going to be one.
Dak Prescott can throw for more than 150 yards.
Hey, man, he threw for over 150. He threw for over 200 yards last game.
Do you think he throws for over 300 if he has Des Bryant?
No.
That's
Not at all.
fucking washed.
However, there are rumors that like maybe the Cowboys should bring him back because I'm pretty sure
He fucking tweeted at them, or he tweeted at like some fan. He put like a workout video up, and someone was like, "What team you trying out for?" And he's like, "Hopefully the Cowboys, but any team, honestly."
I'm pretty sure honestly you could put Lucas, the starting point guard for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he can make the team right now as wide
He's a good
receiver. You with them big hands, dude, and your fucking rips in.
You know what they say about big hands?
Big gloves.
I was gonna say big T-shirts.
Oh.
Get your hands through them
Yeah,
holes,
you're
those
right.
armholes.
Makes sense.
You do have very large T-shirt holes.
Next game.
Washington Redskins at the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. Drew Brees is gonna break the all-time passing yardage record. He only needs 200 yards. It's at New Orleans, Monday Night Football. The place is going to be fucking lit. I'm going with the Saints. There's no way they lose this game.
Yeah, Saints look pretty solid.
I thought you were gonna say you were going to the game. I was
I
be like,
wish.
damn, that's
Let's
impressive.
fucking go.
I fucking wish.
This dude trash year takes Mardi Gras. And get on the fucking, oh my god.
Lucas, how many times would you show your titties?
11.
That's it, just 11?
Yeah.
What if you got 12 beads? Would you
Well, I
just?
couldn't.
You'd be like, nope, that's my cutoff.
Yeah.
Would you take it off then?
No.
Fair enough then. But yeah, I think the Saints are definitely gonna win this, and I think it will be very nice to have Breeze get that record finally. Now, do you think whenever he gets it, do you think they're gonna stop play?
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna stop play and they're gonna?
In 2011, when he broke the singles season record for like most yards in a season, they like had like not a 10 minute, I'd say like a 2 minute like break where like both teams like applauded. You know, his fucking lineman held him up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fans cheered. They had like a big thing on the jumbotron, like the yardage he broke and all that shit. And yeah, there'll be a big ceremony. I'm sure of it. This is a pretty big fucking deal.
When I was at the Pens game, whenever Crosby scored his 1,000th point, not a big deal, they stopped play just to commemorate it.
Well, I think
pretty
games should do
fucking
that.
cool.
I think like if you have like
Oh yeah, it's history.
like I know in basketball, like whenever I think who the fuck did LeBron? Like LeBron scored his 30,000th point, which only like 6 other players have ever done. Like they stopped play and they gave him like the basketball like, hey, this is this and then like I think it's a good moment to have.
Oh yeah.
Especially for Breeze has played. He didn't play for New Orleans his entire career. He played.
No, he was drafted by San Diego.
Yeah, so but he's pretty much been there the entire.
Yeah, since 2006.
Yeah, so I mean that's his franchise. So I think it's definitely, and I'm sure those fans, especially Katrina and all that type of shit,
Oh, dude,
they rallied.
He's Breezes.
Breezes. I like that. You should get that tatted on your neck, Chance,
Get it tatted
with a
on.
picture of Drew Brees instead of Jesus on the cross.
Jesus Christ! I literally got there. Fuck.
It'd be
Oh,
It'd be Breezes Christ, bro.
Fuck off.
All right, so we're all going to New England, or not New England, New Orleans.
Yep.
New Orleans, then. Dude, what is going on today?
Is it Patriots bye week?
No, they play Indianapolis at home.
Oh, that was the first game.
That was the first
I don't
game,
remember that.
Lucas.
All right, next.
You picked them to win. That's all the games.
All these
for.
episodes merged together anymore.
That's
Because
because
we're already on fucking 7.
on 7, Lucas. All right, well, that's it for football then for today. So we're gonna turn it over to Lucas for his NHL news of the
Let's go.
week.
All right, listeners. If you're listening to this, that means the fucking season's in full swing by now. By full swing, I mean just started. All right, so I'm going to go over a quick rundown. Maybe not quick, but a very nice rundown of the greatest team ever established in the NHL. Chance, who is it?
The Pittsburgh
Penguins. All right. So last year they finished with 100 points, and they were 10th in the NHL, second overall in the Metro. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Considering the last few years they won the Cup, they haven't been in first place. Last year they were obviously tired. You go on back-to-back Cup runs. You play 82 regular season games plus full-run playoffs, and they had a lot of Game 7s too, so it was really rough on them. They just didn't have it in them, and goaltending was pretty bad. I think those were the two biggest things last year. Projected for this year, according to the Las Vegas Sportsbook, is 102 points. Over-under is 102.5. I'm going to go over this year on 102 points. With that would be about 48 wins with some overtime wins. All right. So best case scenario for next year is Sid, Gino, and Phil, the arguably top 3 players like combo on any team. Is best case scenario is they just decide they want to win another cup, and it just happens. If they play how they're supposed to play, they're going to win, and the rest of the NHL just has to fucking deal with it. Worst case scenario, Sidney Crosby starts to show his age and starts to show why people like Connor McDavid are the upcoming greatest in the league, and the Penguins make the playoffs, but they don't make it far because last year all they did was they were carried by their power play, an unreal power play with Kessel, Malkin, Crosby, Hornquist, and fucking Justin Schultz. If they just can't bank on that anymore. So the worst case scenario, they just get the same thing. Nothing special changed from last year. The biggest thing about the Penguins are the forwards. I mean, obviously, like I just said, it's Crosby, Malkin, and Kessel are the big 3. And it's going to be interesting this year because they drafted so many centers, and they lost Connor Sheary. Not a huge loss, but he was very well with Crosby, so that's going to be interesting to see what he does on his line. And over on defense, well, quick, the NHL has ranked the Pittsburgh offense forwards 3rd. Not bad. Defense overview, what Chris Letang are we going to get this year? That is the biggest question. Is he going to be 2010, 9, like 12 Chris Letang, top of his game? Is he going to be like 14, 15, and maybe coming back injured? He is the number one factor to that defense. Besides that, they're steady. They're not flashy, but they're a solid D-core. And NHL has them ranked 11th. So above half, but not top 10.
It's
Goalies,
right there.
Another huge factor next year. Because last year, Matt Murray battled injuries, coped with the loss of his father, and he had a career low of .907 save percentage and .905. His save percentage in the playoff series against Washington, which they lost, was only .900. I mean, worst of his career, but he's only played 2 years. So I think he's going to easily come back into the top 10 list of goalies, maybe even 5. He's a phenomenal goalie. Also, quick fact, I learned this today, he is the lightest weighing team member on the team.
What?
He weighs like 178 pounds, and he's 6'5" or 4". It is insane.
Damn, dude, he's very
it's crazy.
lightweight.
Lean.
It's lightweight.
It's fucking wild.
I wonder where all that weight is.
He needs to eat. Needs to eat more pancakes and
All right.
chew like Lucas.
He's ranked 14th on goalies, so I think he'll be top 10. Special teams, probably the thing Pittsburgh's most famous for nowadays is because you have just this unreal lineup. We had a league high last year, 26.15%, which is insane. The penalty kill, not great. We were around average at 80%. It's going to be interesting to see with all the new forwards we got and the older guys coming back, how the power play and the PK is going to be.
Now, can I ask a quick question here from a non-hockey knowledge?
Great.
What the fuck is special teams for hockey?
Power play and penalty kill, bro. This fucking guy.
Dude, I'm sorry.
This
Listen,
fucking guy.
special teams football I can understand because they only come out for like.
I mean, it's not a majorly common term, special teams, but it's pretty much what it is.
Well, I
Power
just
play
didn't, I
lines
just
are
didn't know what it
different
was.
than like a normal line.
Okay,
Lines
that
are
makes
different.
sense to me. I just wanted
Yeah,
clarification.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
For-
everything
yeah.
like abnormal, like not 5-on-5 is like
it is special teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, additions, we got Matt Cullen, fan favorite, coming back. He helped win 2 cups back-to-back. Left last year for Minnesota. Did his average maybe. I don't know why they're bringing him back, honestly. We have so many centers. I mean, he's cheap. He's a very good leader. He's going to be a good locker room guy. I think that's basically it. But I'd be surprised if he plays 50 games. Also, another forward, Derek Grant. 2 huge defensive additions, which is going to be a make or break for this team, is Jack Johnson from Columbus. And we got this guy, Juuso Riikola, and he made the team right out of the camp. And I don't know if he's going to start. I think he's going to be like a 7th, 8th guy. But I'm really interested to see how he plays with the team. We lost Connor Sherry, like I said, and Tom Kuhnhackl, 2 great bottom 6 forwards. Tom Kuhnhackl was a fantastic penalty killer. But I think they're going to be great. I think they're going to be up there with Lightning, Toronto, and Washington. I think are going to be the top 3 teams this year. And I said it last year because I felt so hot with them winning back-to-back cups. Like they're going to go all the way again. I think this year is going to be their year again. I think they're going to walk teams.
Yeah, I
They're
agree.
a wagon.
I think they're pretty rested up and they're ready to go. I feel like this is the best team they've had in the last 3 years, and they won the cup 2 out of those 3 years.
Yeah,
How deep did they make it in the playoffs last year?
they got eliminated second round.
Or second round? I wasn't sure if it was first or second. I
No,
know they didn't
second
make it
round.
deep. I just wasn't
Yeah.
sure how deep. They lost to Washington. Right?
Washington, yeah,
Yeah, and
which was
16.
basically the cup final.
Well, yeah, and then Washington went on to win the whole thing. So
It's going to be a very good season. I cannot wait for it to start. Cannot wait.
well, Lucas, that was a beautiful preseason intro.
Thank you.
Lucas, isn't there one more tad bit of hockey news you'd like to
Oh yeah,
talk
still
about?
staying in the NHL away from the Penguins is kind of related to the Penguins. The league's biggest goon, Tom Wilson from the Washington Capitals, has just been suspended 20 games for a headshot he put on Oscar Sundqvist. Former Penguin, actually, but now he's on St. Louis.
Wait, who'd he hit?
Oscar Sundqvist.
Sunquist?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
He's a young guy. He's on St. Louis. He's pretty decent, but yeah. I'm extremely surprised it's 20 games. Because I was thinking like 6, maybe 10. But 20 games, it's just, now they're just going off of his record. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, if he was on our team, I would probably fucking root for him. Because he's such a game changer. He is such a scumbag, but he is a game changer. He changes how teams play against him, how people think about him. Like, if he's on the ice, you can't do anything without shitting your pants. Just because you know you're going to get your head taken off. Which is dirty, but it's going to happen.
Now, there aren't as many goons in the league anymore,
No.
is there?
The league is going completely away from this. I like strong, like, physical presences on the ice, like Dustin Byfuglien. Like, he's a fucking wrecking ball, but he does everything clean and just big checks. There's so many guys like that who just play the game solid, but then you got people taking dirty shots at heads, which is the problem.
Now, was it like, did the guy get injured or anything like that?
Yeah, I think he
Oh, his face was fucked
almost,
up.
Oh, so,
if
like,
he
it was,
broke
like, a
his
pretty
jaw
bad-
and almost broke his shoulder or something, but
So it was like a pretty bad
yeah,
hit.
a lot of shoulder contact, but he was going towards his head just from the angle. It was
I
like
mean, you could tell
it was like a
dirty shot.
90-degree. Oscar Sundqvist had his head down. He shouldn't have done that. He was going through the middle of the ice. You don't do that. And so like he has to learn how to not do that. But Tomlinson came from a fucking 90-degree angle, like kind of behind him, and just took out his head. And the league gave him 20 games. I'm very surprised. It's deserving, but I'm surprised the league do that. I was surprised.
Now, as a hockey fan, would you rather there be more violence in? Like, would you rather there be more goons, or would you rather be more skilled players?
I'd rather have more skilled players. And the league's going that way for sure. And watching like skilled players, it just blows your mind. It's cool seeing checks. I still like having hits and stuff, but like I like fighting sometimes. But if you can get rid of fighting and like just dirty players, I'd be fine with it.
See, I like fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it happens sometimes, not every time.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
too
at
much.
a good level right now. Maybe it could be a little higher, but the dirty plays, I think, good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's at a good spot. The dirty plays obviously need to like go away, but like there's only like a few players that fucking constantly do that, And this Tom Wilson, literally his body is just dangling with dicks. He's that big of a dick, but he could fly a dick ship to Planet Dick and be the leader of the dicks for as big of a dick as he is.
Damn.
So he's not a nice guy.
But no, I think hockey is. I think they made the right choice here, which is surprising because like the head of their player safety association is like an ex-goon himself.
Really?
Yeah.
He was used to be one of like the biggest
Yeah,
dirtbags.
yeah.
That's funny as hell.
So he was like cutting these guys slack, but like I don't know.
I think it's
fucked up.
also a statement too.
This is I have showing Tyler here a picture. This is what his fucking face looks like from getting.
That's like
elbowed.
after like kind of half recovered.
Yeah.
This was like yesterday or the day before.
Dude, can you please try to find a video of this hit for me?
Oh yeah, it's fucking all over.
Now,
the
I
place.
will say this though. I feel like it's better to have more skilled players and less
Yeah,
goons.
it's a lot
Now
more
you
fun.
can,
It's good for the marketing. It's good for the
and that's in
league.
all sports. That's in all sports in general. Like
Yeah.
basketball, like how people say, "Oh, it was better back in the '90s." Whenever you could actually it wasn't if you sneezed on someone, it was a foul. But in all sports, the less physical, just the only reason why you're playing is because you're physical. The more skillful players you get in, and the better the play is.
Yeah, it's
No,
definitely more enjoyable.
There is room for people who that play tough and play slightly aggressive and push you around, beat you up in all sports. So I can see that, but there's a difference between playing hard and playing aggressive and then playing dirty.
Yeah.
So I think just trying to get rid of dirty is definitely a thing. And if that dude's face is as fucked up as it is, then
Yeah,
I'm sure it was definitely a dirty hit. All right, guys. I think that's going to about do it for today. There's not a lot of video game news going on that we would mention. I know.
Give it a couple weeks. There's gonna be a lot coming out soon.
Yeah, Mario Party's coming out. Call of Duty's around the corner. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is around the corner as well. So just give it a couple weeks. I'm sure things will be picking up. But until then, this has been episode 7.
Another great episode.
Another great episode.
fantastic episode.
Once again, subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, Google Play. We're on all 3 of those. Just search our name, Trash Deer Radio, and you'll be able to find us.
Slide into our DMs on Twitter, on our personal Facebooks. You know who we are.
Yeah, Trash Deer Sports.
Yeah, tweet at us, whatever. Just get in contact us. We love whenever you guys, kind of talk to us and let us know how we're doing and stuff. But I guess until next week, we'll see you guys until then.
Yeah, have a happy holiday.
What?
What holiday is there?
I'm sure there's some holiday.
Oh, that's fair enough. Have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays to all.
Happy birthday to all you birthday people out there too.
Congratulations on your marriage.
And to all the good night.
And happy graduation.
You fuck.